Hello everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? How long has it been? Was it like three or 4 months, something like that? Too long, I'd say. How have you been? Have you been alright? Doing good in this confinement, coronavirus, shit show? It's been a crazy time, in other words. For all of us. But we're back. If you've been following us on Instagram, you would be aware that we have started filming again. We're back in production on Spider-Man 4 and other projects. Very exciting stuff in the works. And it's very good to be back doing that. And we're all very happy to be doing it, and especially now that, at least for us, school's out, we're free to do it as much as we want, so this is kind of perfect for us. Despite that, not everything is perfect, not everything is golden, as one might say, and this video is to address a lot of that. So there's a lot to talk about today, so this may end up being a rather long video, but that is likely a product of the fact that we haven't done a director's corner in how long? Like December of 2018 is when the last one was, so a year and a half it's been, and that is too long. There's of course a million reasons that could be given as to why no director's corner has been done in that long. Truth is, it's the simplest explanation out of all of them, the one you've heard a million times everyone say for why content isn't happening. We've just been busy. It's very cliche, very obvious, but that is the truth. We've just been very busy, either very busy or not busy at all. In both cases, there's either nothing to talk about or no time to talk about it. So not ideal in many ways, but we have time now, so we're doing it now. But that's why this is probably going to be a long video, because there's a lot to cover, and there's still some stuff I'm going to leave out that I'll talk about at a later date, because I want this video to be just the main stuff that's the most important, the most vital information, just in general as to what's going on with this channel, and that's been kind of my reasoning as to why I haven't done Director's Corner as regularly as it was in the early years. The main reason just being I hate update videos that are just constant, where you learn no new information really, and it's just regurgitating the same, well, we're still doing stuff, but you know, it's kind of busy and whatever. It's not a dig at anyone in particular, it's not a specific, you know, I'm not having a go here, but that's just what I want to avoid. It's just repetitive nonsense, update videos that aren't worth the time. And so I want every director's corner to give like a chunk of information that's useful, something big, or at the very least something interesting that's worth talking about. And I think ideally I'd like this to be like a biannual show, and by that I don't mean every 2 years. I mean twice a year, because biannual can mean both of those things. And right now currently it's been more biannual than biannual, but I want to make it biannual from now on. Is that clear? I hope it is. Alright, so I think that's the main intro out of the way, so now we can get started with the main topics. Our main topic off the top is Spider-Man 4. That's the main thing going on. Now, if you've been following us on Instagram, which I really recommend you do, at Variant Pictures on Instagram, because the Instagram page is where we update the most regularly. It's our main output in terms of like regular like updates, and just production photos and things like that. So really follow us on Instagram if you want to have the most like granular updates, because I want to reserve the director's corners for bigger information as opposed to just those smaller bits of information. So follow us there if you want to get more updates than on the channel, more consistent uploads. That being said, this is us we're talking about, so it's not incredibly consistent or regular, but more so than the YouTube channel, so that is technically an improvement in some ways. But yes, anyway, Spider-Man 4, if you saw the Instagram, you probably have a better idea of what's going on. That's still in production, that's still happening, so it's not cancelled, no big drama here. Obviously, it's not going to come out on July 4th. If everything's worked out correctly, then normally this video is being uploaded on July 4th. In a sense, because that's only a few days from now as I'm recording this, and I felt like the right time to upload this Director's Corner, because I felt like what better day to update on everything than on the day that Spider-Man 4 was supposed to come out, which also happens to be the 5-year anniversary of Rise of a Hero. So happy 5 years to that. Crazy to think it's been that long. But yeah, there you go. Point is that's why this video is coming out today. But with regards to Spider-Man 4, what's up with that? We mentioned in the initial update back in like March, I think, or it might have been April. In that initial update, we said, look, we're probably not gonna have any new release date announcement anytime soon, and unfortunately, we still don't have one. The mentality right now is just to finish this movie and we'll release it when it's ready, kind of thing. That's kind of our reasoning at the moment. And part of that is that, yes, now we're in the deconfinement, so we've been able to start filming again, but it's still quite a spanner in the works for us, and that means that it's gonna be complicated and we're gonna have to come back to this project every few months to fill in gaps here and there. It's gonna take a while, is what I'm saying. It's gonna take quite some time before this project is done, for many reasons, that being one of them. Right now, we can't announce a release date, and we probably won't be announcing one for quite some time, but we will keep you posted on what's going on. Obviously, we can't spoil anything, or we don't want to spoil anything, so we won't be showing, pictures on set and these kinds of things. But we will update you on the progress of getting the film done. So we've done this much of production. When we enter post-production, you'll get updates on that. So you will be informed about all this stuff, but basically don't expect it anytime soon. Don't expect even an announcement of a release date anytime soon. Truth is, we don't know, and we're not gonna try and come up with anything. We're just gonna make this movie, get it done, and you'll know when it's ready, is kind of that. Alright, that's about it for Spider-Man 4. I'm afraid that's all we can say. We're still hard at work on it. We're still really dedicated, and we're really excited for you to see it. It's been one hell of a project. It's definitely the biggest thing we've done so far. But yeah, there's not much else to say on that. Stay tuned on that, we'll keep you posted. And we have a bunch of stuff coming out more recently, so you'll have things to look forward to, even if you'll have to wait a bit for that one. The next topic is the big one for this channel. It's a very big topic indeed, and that is the comments. So, a bit of context. In February of 2019, if you're on YouTube, you probably have heard of it, but if not, this guy, this guy called Matt, made this YouTube wake up campaign, basically saying that there was a, well, I can't say the word, but you know, there was a ring, a wormhole, if you will, that's what he called it, I think, of child content on YouTube, and there was a lot of inappropriate comments found in that. The whole thing is predicated on a misunderstanding of the YouTube algorithm, which basically Matt didn't seem to grasp at the concept that if you click on a video, YouTube will recommend you similar content regardless of what that video was. So obviously if you click on a video of children, you're gonna get more children. Yeah, it's a little weird, but it's a very impartial system. It's just you watch that, so here's more of it. It's always how it's worked. But anyway, Matt made a whole fuss about it, and it comes from a place, I assume, of good intention, of, you know, protecting children. But he went about it in the wrong way, and YouTube had to make drastic measures to compensate for that. The main measure was any content that YouTube's AI detected as featuring minors had their comments removed entirely, and at least in our case, and we've been spending a lot of time looking into this to try and make sure we fully understand the situation, which is why we haven't talked about it until now, even though it's been almost a year and a half since this happened, or since this began. We wanted to make sure we really understood properly what was going on so we could speak with confidence on it. And effectively, we have done everything we can, and there is nothing we can do to reactivate the comments manually. There's absolutely nothing we can do. And this really sucks. Not only because while I understand why YouTube would automatically disable it, the fact that the content creator is not allowed to manually re-enable it, I'd understand if you have to check a box that says, like, I understand the risks of, you know, manually re-enabling comments, and there may be inappropriate comments or something to that effect. No, there isn't any of that. We have no option to reactivate the comments on anything. Furthermore, this sucks because from all the information we looked on it, it seemed that initially the concept is that only the videos specifically that had minors in them would have their comments removed. And this is not only in our case, many other channels have been affected in similar ways. Notably, like family channels, that's been a big problem for them. They not only have selected videos, but basically the entire channel is blanket banned from having any comments, regardless of what is in the videos. So that means that on a channel that has videos with minors in them, even videos that don't have minors in them will similarly get affected. And we've been able to see this in action on our channel as well, because there are several videos, not many, but there are a handful of videos like Q&A announcements and the like, where not only are there no minors in them, but there are no people in them either. They are like just a blank screen with, you know, hey, this is a Q&A announcement, put your comments below. There are some early teaser trailers for things that didn't have any people in them either. It was mostly visual effects shots and stuff. That similarly got the same treatment. Comments removed, even though there are no minors or even people in them. Basically, the entire channel has been blanket banned from having comments. Past, present, and future, we will never have our comments again, because even though by now most of us are no longer minors, we're not a large enough channel to be able to make a lot of noise and complain on Twitter, and then YouTube goes, we shall grant you some exemption for this or that. No, we're a minuscule channel. There is no chance in hell that we can get YouTube to help us on this. So what solution do we have? Again, similarly to what I mentioned earlier, the reason we haven't mentioned anything until now is what I mentioned earlier. We just wanted to make sure we fully understood the situation so we could speak on it with confidence. Also, we were quite busy with Fall of a Hero, so like we couldn't be bothered to make an update video on this because we were doing that and we didn't understand the situation. And finally, because we were also trying to find solutions to the problem, basically none of them worked. The logic behind the first thing we tried to do was, the first and ultimately only thing we really tried to do, was to add a link in the description of the video that would send to our Instagram page, in which we would have a post that was relevant to that video, and so people could go on there and comment in place of commenting on the video. Unfortunately, there are several things we didn't consider when doing that, and namely that both on mobile and on PC, this solution doesn't work at all. Now on PC, the advantage is that the comment section, you can see the first like 3 lines or so, which was great because therefore the first 3 lines would be the message we wrote, which is YouTube has disabled our comments. If you would like to comment, do so at this link. That showed up, and then you could click to see the rest of the description, but automatically you would see that, which was great. However, not a lot of people use Instagram on their computers. So when they'd click the link, it would link them to Instagram, but then they'd have to log in, and most people would probably lose interest by that point. So yeah, not ideal on PC. But on mobile, it would work, right? Because people use Instagram on their phones. That's basically only where people use it. But there is another problem. Firstly, unlike on PC, none of the description is visible on YouTube mobile. None of it. If you want to look at the description, you press the drop-down menu, and then it shows you the entire description, but that's all you get. Either none of it, or if you press on it, you get all of it. At that point, yes, they would see the link, but most people would not automatically see it, unlike on PC, so most people wouldn't know to go there. But even if they did, if they went to the description and they clicked the link, do you think it opens Instagram? You'd think so, right? That would make sense. No, it doesn't. Instead, it opens a proprietary web browser inside of the YouTube app, but that browser doesn't hold any cookies, so no one's logged in. So again, they have to log in manually, and again, most people would probably lose interest by that point. But even then, you could click the link in the corner, it would open Safari or whatever browser you were using on your phone. Then, and only then, would there be an automatic thing that says, why don't you try the app? And then you press that, and then finally it brings you to the Instagram application. All this to say, in both cases, mobile and PC, it was not good. It wasn't a good solution. But what else could we do? And so we thought about it for a little bit longer, and we did come up with a solution that works both on PC and on mobile. What is that solution? Well, what is the only link that you can put on YouTube and that it works both on PC and on mobile? A YouTube link. That is the only thing that works perfectly in both. On PC, if you click the YouTube link, it'll open that video or channel in a new tab, and since it'll be in the same browser, you'll be logged in and there's no problem there. On mobile, same thing. If you click the link to a YouTube video, it'll open up that video. If you click a link to the channel, it'll open up that channel within the app. So this was the perfect solution because it could all be done within the YouTube app or on the YouTube page on PC. It worked perfectly in both, no problems. However, this requires one thing. It requires we have a link to a channel or video that would serve as a comment section. And so the inevitable question arose that well, we're gonna have to start a new channel, aren't we? The writing was on the wall for this in many ways. Ever since the comments got removed, the channel has absolutely plateaued. Even though we've gotten a not insignificant amount of views, obviously much less than what we would have if the comments were available, because here's the thing, comments are the largest factor in a YouTube video's engagement rating. Engagement being likes, comments, shares, adding to playlists, things like that. Comments is the largest contributor out of all of these. And so removing that removes a huge aspect of the engagement of a video. The thing is that the engagement of a video is the #1 thing that determines its ranking in the algorithm. And because we've had our comments removed, essentially the channel gets recommended far, far less. And I also suspect, though I don't know this for sure, so grain of salt in that, I presume that because we are labeled as a channel that features minors, I say this because the entire channel is blanket banned from having any comments regardless of whether there are minors in the video or not. That means we are probably just labeled as minor channel, and therefore we get recommended far less because YouTube probably wants to avoid more controversy and so downplays videos with minors in them in the algorithm, on top of just removing the comments, which by itself removes the ranking in the algorithm. Because of this, all growth on the channel has been stagnated to a ridiculous extent. I'll pull up a graphic here, which is our views since this channel began. There obviously have been ups and downs, as there always is, but there is a suspicious drop when the comments get removed. Obviously, we'd been dropping a bit earlier because we'd been gone for a year and a half, and during that time, the first 2 Spider-Man movies, which have always been the #1 and #2 respectively in terms of views, got demonetized. Or I shouldn't say demonetized, they had their monetization removed, which isn't exactly the same thing. Effectively, we used copyrighted music in those movies, and so eventually the system kind of went over it again. I was like, hold on, that's copyrighted music. Whereas until this point, we had just changed the pitch of the music, and so YouTube detected it as a cover back then. But now the system is much better at detecting music, and so they were like, no, that is actually the song. So we had not the comments, well, eventually we did, but we had the monetization removed, is what I was saying. And that's perfectly fair, we deserve that one. I'm not like pretending otherwise. We use copyrighted music, that is perfectly fair that they did that. But anyway, point is, that had a blow obviously, but not to the whole channel, just to those videos. But the entire channel has just been at a very low point ever since the comments got removed, and there has been like basically no growth at all. I do want to make it clear that I'm not blind to the fact that there could very easily be other factors involved. Perhaps people have just grown out of our content. Maybe the content isn't as good as it used to be. Who knows? There's a plethora of reasons, and I'm sure they all play a factor. I don't want to be all like, this is YouTube's fault, and like, if it went for them, we'd be thriving right now. Who knows? I think there's definitely like a chance that it's other factors as well. But when you consider the timing, and again, that graph is very telling, when you consider the timing, it seems awfully suspicious that it wouldn't be that. It seems very clear that that is the reason that the comments got removed, and like immediately there's like a substantial drop. and plateau. So it seems quite clear that it's that, but I do want to make it clear that I'm not blind to the fact that there are other factors involved, but that seems like by far the most substantial. And the final thing I want to say on this topic, I also must address the fact that it's not so much the growth of the channel and the views and whatever. That's not really what bothers me the most, or what bothers any of us the most here at Briac Pictures. The main thing that's an issue is that it's just killed the community entirely. At least, I mean, our community here, because there is no more contact between us and you guys, and that really sucks. It feels really cold. It feels clinical. It just feels like we're uploading things into the void and people watch it and whatever, you know. I loved the engagement. I loved seeing people's responses, and we love to share in people's enthusiasm of these movies, and both positive and negative criticism. I think that that's very important, and it's useful for us to improve, to know what works and what doesn't. But not having any of that means that we don't know if what we're doing works or not. We get comments on Instagram and some DMs and things, and so we get some idea, but not as much as we used to, and it just kind of sucks that the channel is relegated to this. So the big question now is, well, what are we going to do about it? I mentioned that we had found a solution to the problem, and that this solution required us creating a new channel. And ultimately, that, along with the stagnant growth, meant that we knew what we had to do. Even if it was a difficult decision to make, we knew that we had to move on effectively. Now, don't panic. It's not the end of Briac Pictures. View it more as a continuation. In a way, you could view this as like the sequel to Briac Pictures. Number 2, it's not a reboot, it's just a continuation of what we had before, but now on a new channel. Also, another thing, this channel will not be going anywhere. We're not deleting this. This will stay exactly where it is, so you don't have to worry about that either. How is this gonna go down? When is this gonna go down? These are the big questions. I'll start with the how. The when is a bit more complicated. Okay, the how is we're gonna start a new channel, and we thought a long time about how we're gonna brand this, like how is that gonna be named, like what are we gonna do there. Initially we figured that the new channel would be like Briac Pictures 2 or Briac Pictures Redux, who knows. Ultimately we decided that if that was going to be our new like main channel from now on, that it didn't make sense that that one should have some tag at the end. So the new channel is going to be called Briac Pictures Entertainment. That's what it's going to be. This channel is going to be renamed to Briac Pictures Classic or Briac Pictures Entertainment Classic. One of those two. Basically Classic is the main point to remember. Effectively, this channel will serve as an archive for all this old content. And this also means that any new content we make that is referential of this channel's content, so the older videos, unless there is none of that content featured in the video itself, but if it is content that does feature it, like, I don't know, deleted scenes or maybe commentary tracks, unless we decide to split that into like just an audio commentary track on the new channel and you sync it up to the old video. But basically, if we make any new videos that have content in it from this channel, from the old videos, then they will be on this channel. So essentially, this channel will be all of this old content, which will stay here, and any content referential to it. So there will still be content here from time to time, as we will often look back on older videos for one reason or another. This ties into the when, and that is a bit more complicated to answer, but not absurdly so. Essentially, it's not going to be in one fell swoop, it's going to be a gradual migration process. It's going to start in September. So come September, the new channel will be created, and we will start to migrate our content onto there. Things like Director's Corner, for instance, will be moved to the new channel. So that's going to become exclusive to that. And of course, any new content will be on there. So new movies and etc. Spider-Man 4 will be exclusive to that channel. It's not going to be on here, which, you know, does suck. I wish that we could keep it on the original channel, but unfortunately we're going to have to do it for the sake of that film. We might, it's not 100% decided yet, but we might have placeholder videos which will serve as the comment section for many old videos. So the original Spider-Man movies, Gotham Pizza, and maybe select others, but mainly those. We will have placeholder videos where people can comment there for that if they'd be so inclined. So yeah, that's it really. I say that, but that is kind of a lot to take in, at least I'd imagine it is. It's certainly a big change, and it's not something that like any of us are particularly happy about. None of us want to leave this channel behind, and that's why we've been very active in sort of defining this as just the next step, as just a continuation of what we had before. It's not an entirely new thing, it's just the continuation. That's very important to us, and very important that we communicate that message, because we're not starting over. In a sense we are, because we're going to be on a new channel. We're going to start off with 0 subscribers, but it's going to be good in the long run. For us, we'll get to see the comments. For the videos, they'll get to be shown to more people. For the channel, it'll get to grow a lot more now that the comments are back. It's the right thing to do. It's the right move, even if it is a difficult one to make, because it means leaving this channel behind. But we're not leaving it entirely. It's still with us in spirit, and it's not going anywhere. This channel is staying here. There's still going to be some content from time to time, so it's not going to be dead entirely. And so yeah, I don't know, it's kind of it's rough. It's not the best. I wish things were different, but they're not. This is the way things are, and so this is the best decision we can make given the circumstances. So yeah, this video has been maybe a little depressing. I know it is for me a little bit, but to cheer you up, we have an exciting announcement, at least I think it is. Again, if you've been following us on Instagram, you've been seeing this coming for a while. And this is a project that has been in the works for about a year now. And we've been working on it in the background quietly for just over a year. And we are unveiling it today, at least officially, because we've been teasing it on Instagram. And, well, roll the trailer. That's right. This December, the 25th to be exact, we'll be releasing the director's cut of Spider-Man: Dawn of a Hero. It's gonna have new scenes. I mean, you've seen the trailer. It's gonna have new scenes, new visual effects, music. It's gonna be great. We're very excited for you to see it. And in case you're wondering, the director's cut will be on this channel. And there will obviously be a placeholder video on the new channel, which will serve as the comment section, and that's going to be uploaded at the same time. But since it's largely content from the original movie, it's mostly that. It has new things, but it's largely going to be that. Therefore, we'd rather not risk the new channel getting the same treatment. So it's going to stay on this channel. So I assume you'll be happy to hear that. and that's going to be part of our sort of migration process, because the new channel launches in September, but this is going to stay on this channel. So basically you guys will have time to move over. It's not going to be a big like sudden change. None of you are going to miss the boat, is what I'm saying. Kind of exciting, right? At least it is to me. We're all very excited for this, and we have more things in the works, but we're going to keep that close to the chest for now. But trust me, you will be hearing about it soon, and we're very excited to show you everything we have in store for you. Not just that, we have a lot more planned, and I feel like it's going to be a very exciting few years coming up. We've got a lot. Trust me, we have a lot coming up that you're really going to like. 2020 might not have been our year, far from it. But I think there's a lot of great stuff on the horizon, and we're very excited to show you all of it. And that's gonna do it for this video. So thank you for watching. Take care, and well, we'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Bye.